Mad Maxine busted in $1.2 million fraud. Democrats freaking out by Al Waisman for FreedomDaily.com. This is just plain unbelievable. According to Judicial Watch, a longtime liberal lawmaker has now introduced a bill that moves over $1 billion to Obamacare navigators. This ridiculous bill, introduced by none other than the California Democrat Congresswoman Maxine Waters just a few weeks ago, calls to recruit customers for the health insurance exchanges set up under Obama's disastrous health care overhaul known as Obamacare. Keep in mind, most of these so-called navigators are big-time Democrat Party donors, so Waters seems desperate to feed Obamacare as a source of money laundering for liberal groups who will in turn donate to her Democrat colleagues in the Democrat Party. Convenient, huh? According to the 14-term Congresswoman from California, who has been investigated by the House Ethics Committee for steering federal funds away from other institutions to her husband's failing Massachusetts bank, and who can't even reside in her own district because it's overrun by crime and poverty, wrote the law because the Trump administration rightly slashed Obamacare outreach funding by more than 90%. Via Judicial Watch, Obamacare recruiters get $1.2 billion under proposed law February 1st, 2018. A fraud-infested Obamacare outreach program will get an astounding $1.2 billion from American taxpayers if legislation introduced by a veteran congresswoman becomes law. The preposterous measure introduced by California Democrat Maxine Waters a few weeks ago aims to recruit customers for the health insurance exchanges set up under Obama's disastrous health care overhaul. The 14 terms, mind you, Congresswoman investigated by the House Ethics Committee for steering federal funds to her husband's failing Massachusetts bank crafted the law because the Trump administration slashed Obamacare outreach funding by more than 90%. Our healthcare system is under attack by a president, administration, and Republican-controlled Congress that, after numerous failed attempts to repeal Obamacare, are sabotaging it for political gain, Waters said in a statement. My legislation seeks to reverse their vindictive efforts to undermine and destabilize our healthcare system by ensuring that all customers are provided with the information they need to make timely and well-informed decisions when purchasing health coverage through the federal and state-run marketplaces. The bill, Affordable Care Act ACA outreach for the uninsured, Transformative Recruitment and Enrollment Action for Compassionate Healthcare ACA Outreach Act, is co-sponsored by 36 other lawmakers. If it passes, the Department of Health and Human Services would dole out $300 million annually through 2021 for, quote, Navigator grants. Minority and underserved communities would be especially targeted, according to language in the bill's text. The Obamacare Navigator program was rife with fraud and corruption, and Judicial Watch sued HHS back in 2014 to obtain records that the agency refused to provide under the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. In 2013, the Obama administration gave dozens of leftist organizations a whopping $67 million to help people navigate health insurance exchanges that weren't even fully established in a culturally competitive manner. The so-called navigators were tasked with helping people shop for and enroll in plans that would eventually be available on the federal government marketplaces. The money was divided between 105 mostly leftist groups that assisted and recruited the uninsured to sign up for coverage and understand their options. Here are a few examples of the community organizations that receive Navigator grants from the government. An Arizona nonprofit called Campesinos, or whatever, Sin Fronteras, that provide services to farm workers. Oh my. And low-income Hispanics, South Florida legal group that provided navigators in racially, ethnically, linguistically, culturally, and socioeconomically diverse communities. 3 Planned Parenthood branches. Yeah, let's not forget about that. In Iowa, Montana, and New Hampshire got a combined $655,000 to serve as navigators. Others include the Arab Community Center in Michigan, why not? Which got nearly $300,000 to reach out and engage uninsured community members through multicultural media. Black Chamber of Commerce in South Carolina received north of $230,000 to provide outreach around new coverage options, and a Hispanic aging group in Texas got over $646,000 help members that are socially isolated due to cultural and linguistic differences. Some of the Navigators' money went to labor front groups called Restaurant Opportunity Center of New York, headed by an illegal immigrant activist named Maria Marroquin. The group received Navigator funds shortly after Marroquin, an illegal alien from Peru, had been arrested for participating in disruptive demonstrations protesting the deportation of fellow undocumented immigrants and demanding amnesty. Besides the outrage of hiring an illegal immigrant to protect a U.S. government program, it's equally disturbing to know that navigators have access to the sensitive personal information of healthcare enrollees. This includes Social Security numbers, which can be used to identify theft, used for identity theft, rampant crime among illegal alien populations seeking to establish residency, and land jobs in the U.S. Navigator funds also went to a nonprofit Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, ACORN. With such a huge history of corruption that Congress issued a federal funding ban. As part of a broader investigation into ACORN, Judicial Watch obtained records showing that HHS violated the congressional ACORN funding ban by awarding a Louisiana nonprofit called Southern United Neighborhood SUN a $1.3 million Obamacare Navigator grant to recruit customers. Headquarters in New Orleans, SUN is dedicated to combating poverty, discrimination, and community deterioration that keep low-income people from taking advantage of their rights and opportunities, according to a website. Well, Auntie Maxine's proposed bill is officially being called the ACA Outreach Act, and it would, for all intended purposes, direct $300 million of taxpayer money annually for the next 4 years from Health and Human Services to Democrat Party supporting navigators, who are supposed to help minority and underserved people understand the health insurance process, because, according to the tolerant, quote, Democrat Party, these people are too stupid to figure it out on their own. Kind of like these same minorities can't seem to be able to get an ID card in order to vote. How long will our nation have to support Democrat Party kickbacks? I'm sure President Trump won't sign this bill if by some miracle it passes the GOP Congress and the Senate. But this shouldn't even be a bill in the first place, and Waters shouldn't be in Congress either. Please share if you want to end to the Democrat Party corruption. Of course, because I was going to say, who's paying for this? Who's paying for this? In other words, we're going to work to pay for all of this. You know what I'm trying to say? What? That's why I'm telling you. You got the Democratic Party is like the party of destruction. That's all. It's basically, that's it. just to drain the economy of all the money that hardworking people earn to be put into better things, and they want more illegals coming in that we have to pay for. I mean, it's sickening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.